hey God, you're the king of the jungle. There's no disputing that. But for me, I'm not Jesus. I'm the lion. Here's the deal. The fact that I have recorded this shows if I'm actually the lion of Judah, of the tribe of Judah, okay, that means that you have to provide for me. Now, I think my hypothesis is, I mean, I know you exist. I definitely know you exist. There's no disputing that. But I've got nothing left. I'm fucked. I live in my mom's condo. She's pimping me out to have me go to a fucking NAMI, National Association of Mental Health or whatever the fuck it is. I'm exhibiting at her booth where she's pimping my brother out, who is the subject of a book that she's publishing in the spring. But the point is, he gave it a shot and he thought he was Jesus. My dad, our father, not our father, but our dad, Gary, he thought he was Jesus, and she took him for his house, okay? She always was leery of him because his mom, Mother Teresa, she always believed in God. She's chain smoked until she was fucking 88, and she didn't die. He kept her around. Anyway, so my mother was leery about my dad because of Mother Teresa. Of course, she was the direct descendant of King David and Moses and all that shit. So my dad tried to crack it because he's a scientist. He came at it through geology, and he knows where the Ark of the Covenant is, apparently. It's one thing I always grew up with. It was like, oh, well, my dad, he's probably crazy because he knows where the Ark of the Covenant is. Yeah, Gary, you know what? You do. God says green light. Okay, so my mom took my dad for his, for their house and all this shit because he tried to prove the existence of God back in the 80s. Well, then my brother, he eventually, in the early 2000s, like 2000 to 2010, he thought he was Jesus, and he, said it's not, he wasn't going for the Ark, he was going for Babylon. He was like, money's false, fucking threw his wallet out on Wall Street, went to South France, did all this crazy shit, and, he was medicated by my mom as well. So my mom exploited my father, right, for assets during their divorce. And then he had two kids, both sons, and the first one she exploited and now has written this is her second book about him and her journey. And then me, I'm going to go to a NAMI conference on Friday, and I'm going to exhibit her book about, him, based off her experience with him and then indirectly with my dad. And this is the best part. So we're in Dallas, Texas right now. So to drive from Dallas to Austin, where the national conference is, or whatever conference is, Texas conference, it's like a 4-hour drive. So here's how my mom pimps the third attempt out, because I know I'm not Jesus, but I know there's a God. That's a fact. That God that my dad Mother Teresa, we call her Mammy in the household, and then my dad, and then my brother, and now me, all of us, by coincidence, all of us believe in that one God, okay? This is our penance. This is the saddest thing I've ever fucking heard in my life. My mother, she's been tortured by the dragon for a long time. She's a moron. She can't. Anyway. She was leery about Mother Teresa, Mammy. She took Gary for what she could, and then went upon her Designs by Linda and Being Beautiful, registered names in the county of Dallas. Then her youngest son, instead of exploiting a house or whatever, exploited his name, wrote a book, and now her youngest son, her second son, because that was the first one, this is the second one, now I'm going to go down to Austin, which is 4 hours away both ways, plus a hotel bill, plus whatever food, $250 for 48 hours of time. Now think about the hotel bill, that's $160. That's just a start, plus the tax, which is 20%, so that's an extra $32. So that's $192, okay? Plus gas to go, 4 hours one direction and 4 hours back. This is 2018. We're in November or late October. So it's $2.70 a gallon, right? I drive a shitty Mercedes. I'm mentally ill, right? Okay, so that gas is gonna be at least $60. So 192 plus 60 is 252. So you're already above the amount. Now you have to have this person who just all this person has is a shitty car. I call it the donkey. And then gas to get there and back, plus is in for $2. And then on top of that is there for 2 days. On his way there, on his way back, so then has to eat both ways. So that's what, the minimum, another $48 or something. So now you're at, you know, 240 bucks, or sorry, $290. And then you have to ask yourself, now, is there any compensation dealt for this person who's mentally ill, right? Who's going to perpetuate this woman's book, who is not only taken and destroyed a message via the divorce asset, you know, settlement or whatever for her husband, right? Shit talked his mom, pumped her first son full of pills, pimped him out by writing a book about him, which the youngest son is now gonna go and then solicit because she has a PhD. You see the cycle? It's checkmate. Because I can articulate that, and then I can take pieces from each of them and apply it. I can say that this woman is the problem. And God, it doesn't matter what, you know, wherever God is, but all I tried to do, all my brother tried to do, all our dad tried to do, and all his mom, our grandmother, tried to do was prove the existence of God. Just like Moses, who got the burning bush, I got the burning bathroom, the youngest one. And then just like Jesus, who went out into the desert and said, you know what, God's there, he's gonna take care. Well, here's the deal. So we're gonna go all the way down that shit, and instead of listening to this one woman who pimps out her youngest son, her oldest son, her ex-husband, his mom, and God, okay? Instead of listening to that woman, here's what we're gonna do, all right? We're gonna change the world. Because why would we want to be ill? That's all that the four of us were trying to do, along with Moses, along with Jesus, is to show, because we come from the line of David, we are the root of David, all of us, is to show that medicine, she's a PhD nurse, this woman, not God, but this woman, my mom, his ex-wife, and then her ex-daughter-in-law, who represents medicine, is false. That's it. The only way to deal with the cause of any illness at all is to take out your phone and admit to every bad thing you've ever done in your entire life. Not for me, not for my brother, my dad, or my grandmother, or even my mom. I want to put her down there, but you know, she's pretty bad. She's the worst, actually, but you have to honor your mother. I wrestle with that. So Mom, I'm trying to honor you by showing you that all that is real. You are false, but I still love you. So does my brother, so does my dad, so does our grandmother. But we're not happy with you, okay? Because you're trying to play him. And you will never play him, ever. We all know that we can't play him. And it's time for you to learn your lesson, because 1, 2, 3 generations and 4 human beings later, you're not going to pimp out anyone again, because I'm the lion. That's the crab, that's the ram, and Mammy's Mother Teresa, because this whole thing is meaningful. Okay? So it's checkmate. Hope you're well. Meantime, when I post this online, it makes it a record. It's a public record. how I can prove from her, me, my brother, my dad, and his mom, because we filed things in courthouses, we've documented things on the web, and we've recorded a shitload of videos, at least I have, because I know God, the one true God, he wants recognition, because he deserves recognition, because a guy like Donald Trump, who, by the way, my mother loves, because her mom loves it, whatever, it's all this bullshit here, some dreck. Donald Trump is the Antichrist. This line is here to stop that right there, because God doesn't like that. He likes this. Because you want to know how much we got paid to do this? How much did we get paid? Mammy, Dad, John, me. How much, guys? Nothing. And hold on, her right there wants your money, just like Donald Trump. And God, God doesn't like any of that shit, because he likes this is because it's smooth. Okay, simple. So that's the meaning of life. I'll see you guys later.